You want the money. Hey, you want to hang with the big boys. Well, I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm being silly, y'all. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. A year ago, I had a near-death-like experience, and ever since then, I could pick up on energies, and I could even hear from God itself. I was told it would take my soul 14,422 lifetimes to be completed. So I decided to start a social media platform so I can help more people speed this thing on up and finally get my butt up off this planet. Way to go. Help. Hey guys, I am back. I got my snazzy jacket on again. Anywho, guys, let's jump right into this message. How to access your spiritual credit line. So you can get more matrix gear. That's all that it is. Okay, we're going to talk about why you don't need cash or credit. Not in this year that we've all decided to call 2023. You do not need physical cash or credit. You have access to your spiritual credit line. I'm going to tell you what that is, and then I'm going to also tell you how to access it. And it's actually going to be quite shocking how we access our spiritual credit line. But what is a spiritual credit line? Well, simply put, it's just having good credit in the spirit. The more good deeds you do out here on this 3D plane, it's like I have lint on my lips or something, stuck to my lipstick. The more good deeds you do, the more growth you go through here. The more times you fall and get back up. The more times you defeat the enemy within. This is all building your spiritual credit. See, you think you have to go into the bank, beloved, and make deposits. No, it all starts in the spirit. You're constantly making deposits into your spiritual credit line just by how you live your life on a day-to-day basis. So many times we are trying to just focus all of our energy on working and grinding. But I'm going to tell you, that is only going to get you stuck deeper in the matrix. But you're like, I got to pay my bills. I got to buy this. I got to do that. Yes. And you are partaking into this 3D matrix, and you'll be back. That is the truth. If we go about it that way, there is a way to get things. Bring it into the 3D world from our spirit by accessing our spiritual credit line. So I did a video about how when you want all these material things in the matrix, when you want to have and hold things, the matrix is the material world. When you accept those gifts that the matrix gives to you by the way of the matrix avenues, by simply getting your matrix job and going to your matrix church and going to your matrix friend's house and all of that. That is what keeps you in this system. You are agreeing when you take their gadgets, you are agreeing to it. And that's why you keep coming back here, because you don't have that abundant mindset to say death to the ego, death to the man, emergence of the God self within. That is where your spiritual credit line is. It's all in here. The mind is the universe. The mind is the Christ God consciousness. The subconscious mind is where your spiritual credit line is. But every time you do a so-called good deed here, you are making deposits into your own bank. And that is how you got all of those things, in your spiritual bank. That's how you got the line of credit on your spiritual credit card. Okay, first thing I want to say is this money system is not real. It is a fiat currency. It only has the value that we all have agreed to give to it. You guys should read this really good book. It's called The Financial Conundrum. It was one of my dad's book, and I happened to read it. And it was talking about how banks were formed. So, the short, version of it is a bank was formed to hold your gold. Gold is real money. To hold your gold. Somebody figured out, oh, getting ahead of myself. Then they would give you this note to come into the bank to pick up your gold. But somebody figured out not everybody came back for the gold all at the same time. So they start writing out these notes. And they invested the gold. They figured out, oh, maybe only 10% of the people will come at the same time to get their gold. So we can have 90% of the gold out investing and working for us. That's how the fiat currency was formed. It's a debt note. But the very fact that you are holding it and you're getting paid in these debt notes, it is debt. It is the lack of gold. It's saying it's an IOU, essentially, is what you have. But you notice how you never get paid. That's how this matrix works. You don't actually ever get paid. That's why you cannot, you really can't get things this way. It's the matrix money. And by you agreeing to have it, keeping the system going, you are agreeing to come back down here and do it all over again. So that's how the banks were formed. So they would write out these notes for you to come and pick up your gold. Not everybody came back at the same time, so they were investing it. That's why when you go to the bank and you try to withdraw all your money, they give you pushback because they don't have access to all of the money that is on that balance sheet from all the people putting the deposits. They don't have it. So that's why. Okay, so we want to access our spiritual credit line. Ways to access our spiritual credit line. The first thing I'm going to tell you is it's all in the mind. You cannot imagine something that doesn't already exist. The universe is mental. That part of your brain that they tell you that you can't have access to, that subconscious mind, it's a lie. You can have access to it, but there are certain things that you have to do in order to get access to it. That is where your spiritual credit line is. That's why people are saying, let's take manifesting. Let's just start with manifesting being the first way to access your spiritual credit line. People will go into meditation or they'll do their affirmations. That, oh, I have money, money is attracted to me, money comes easily and frequently. Okay, that's good. But if your subconscious mind doesn't believe that money comes easily and frequently, you're not going to get access to that spiritual credit line. So the trick is to go into the subconscious mind. There are a few ways we can do that. The first way is this. When the mind, the critical mind is overloaded with so many different data points, it kind of disorganizes and scrambles the critical mind. That's what takes us into the subconscious. That's why when you are in hypnosis, they're always tapping the forehead and snapping and giving you cues and asking you questions and repeating things. And then they'll switch it up with a snap. That gives access into the subconscious mind. That's where all your goodies are. Because the universe is in the mind. All of those things that you want is in your subconscious mind. That is the bank, beloved. The subconscious mind is the bank. It holds everything that you ever wanted. It's there. You don't have to beg for it. You don't have to work and slave a million jobs for it because that money that you're getting is not real. It is simply a note for you to go and pick up your gold. It is like, I owe you, but you never actually get anything. So you have to get into the subconscious mind to access your spiritual credit line. And like I said, the first way we can do that is by giving an overload to the critical mind to make way to the subconscious. So when you are doing your affirmations and you're saying that money comes easily and frequently, you have to believe it on a subconscious level. That's why it's good to listen to subliminals. So listen to your affirmations when you go to bed. That is very key. That's how you can seep it into the subconscious when you're sleeping, because when we go to bed, our subconscious mind, our actual conscious mind, is dumping The past 16 hours of information, it is dumping it into the subconscious for storage. That's why when you wake up, you always feel refreshed. So I'm sorry, when I was saying we overload the critical mind, I mean we overload the conscious mind. Then the critical mind, we make way into the critical mind. Then we move deeper and deeper until we get to the deep part of our subconscious mind, because the critical mind holds part of the subconscious as well and part of the conscious mind. So this is how you access the all. This is how you access the abundance of the all, of source, of God. It's in the subconscious mind that you don't have access to. Now, you can get access to that subconscious mind. Like I said, you want to access your spiritual credit line, sleep with your affirmations. It's going to start seeping when you sleep. It's going to get into the subconscious mind because the conscious mind is already suppressed. We already have a way into the subconscious mind because when we're sleeping, the conscious mind is suppressed. So the subconscious mind is working out everything. That's why you have so many dreams, and it brings up a lot of fears in your dreams and you get nightmares, just because it is filtering out information from the subconscious mind. So if you want to access your spiritual credit line, sleep with affirmations, money affirmations, abundant affirmations, I am awareness affirmations when you are sleeping. Okay. Fasting is another way we can access our spiritual credit line. Now, when you fast, you are going to get the things from your spiritual credit line that are not monetary. You could get monetary, but really you get more expansion of your mind. More of that subconscious mind starts to, let me rephrase that, more of that conscious mind starts to expand. So when most people are only able to hold an hour and a half of information in their conscious mind, when we go into this state of expansion, when we fast, we can hold more information in our conscious mind. So more of that subconscious memory, we're able to bring it forth to our conscious mind to have access to it. So we simply can access our spiritual credit line by fasting, because there is no digestion taking place. Some of the systems shut down. When the systems shut down, especially the digestive system, it takes a lot of energy to go ahead and digest food all the time. So the body has to utilize that energy in other ways. So it goes in and it cleans out the brain, beloved. When we fast, it actually creates new cells and it kills the bad cells. So you're getting actually new brain cells. So that is why we can access our spiritual credit line, which is in our subconscious mind during fasting, because we are already opening up that portal in the mind to go ahead and kill out the bad cells and implant new ones. So that portal is already open, which is your spiritual credit line. The other way we can access our spiritual credit line. Oh, but let me back up. We're going to get more spiritual gifts when we do this. So this is going to be your fruits of the spirit. This is going to be, the joy, the happiness, love. We're also going to feel a oneness, have more compassion and empathy. When we have more to give, then we gain more. We have more to put into our spiritual bank. And you're going to become maybe clairvoyant, claircognizant. You're just going to have a knowing of what's going on. So you're going to be able to pick up on energies, possibly. These are the gifts you're going to get. It's going to be the things that you can't necessarily hold. But the other way we can access our spiritual credit line is by trauma. Yeah. So, like I said, the whole thing is in your mind. Everything is in your mind. Your spiritual bank is in your subconscious. So in times of trauma, what happens? Like I said, your conscious mind can only hold information from, just an hour and a half or so. When you go through times of trauma, let's say somebody passes away suddenly, you were not expecting it. That triggers the conscious mind to go into a state of trauma. All of these different thoughts and variations and ideals of what happened and the trauma that you're in. And it's too much for the brain. Boom! Makes way to the subconscious mind. because it wants to save you. Our body wants to preserve us. That is the function of it. It wants to preserve you. So it's going to start to get rid of some of those things that you're thinking of because it's overloading you. It needs to dump it back and store it. Boom. Opens a pathway through the critical mind into the subconscious mind where your spiritual bank is. That's why when you go through times of trauma and you're like, I don't know how I'm gonna make a way. You down. You've prayed. You've done everything you can do. And at the last moment, you say, oh, on the 11th hour, God came through. It's because the God is the subconscious mind. It's because the conscious mind got out of the way. It was overloaded with so much, had no choice but to open up to the subconscious mind and start dumping back information. And when it was open, you were able to grab those gifts out of your spiritual bank and bring it into the 3D world. That's why if, let's say somebody passes away and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to pay for the service. I don't know how I'm going to pay for the funeral. I have nothing. And then all of a sudden people come to your house. They bring you gifts. They bring you this. They help you out with that. They hold you up because you've been traumatized so much to the point where the the conscious mind has no choice but to open up to the subconscious, to clear your mind, to preserve you so that you don't have a nervous breakdown, so that you don't die. And then that's how you get access to the subconscious, where your spiritual bank is. So we can get there. We can access our spiritual credit line through times of trauma as well. There's a difference between accessing things by the way of the matrix. Anytime you access things by the way of the matrix, your 3D job, your 3D bank, all of this, you give your consent to be in the matrix. You give your consent. We need to start accessing things from our spiritual credit line, beloved. Our spiritual credit line, it doesn't end when this life ends, when the matrix 3D life ends. We carry it with us. It is our Akashic records. It's our Christ Christos consciousness. Source is the largest database that ever existed. All of these lives that you're living and experiences and hardships and happy moments are all you're storing up in that spiritual bank. You have contributed to it. Everyone has contributed to that spiritual bank. So not only do you have access to the things that you put in, you have access to the things that other people put in too. The good deeds that they put in. You have access to that. It's all in the subconscious mind, which is our spiritual bank. Okay? There's so much more I could say. But for today, I think I'm going to leave this right here. But I do want to say I love you guys. The birds, the bees, and yes, all of the trees, they all love you too. Love is the way. Forgiveness, it is the key. And truth is that light that will always guide us home. Be well, guys. Bye.